demanding documents related to Operation Fast and Furious. Now, that operation put guns in the hands of Mexican drug dealers. Our next guest says this is just the tip of the iceberg for the nation's top cop, and that his actions throughout his tenure have hurt the president. Joining us right now, the former chief speechwriter for President George W. Bush, best-selling author, Mark Thiessen. Mark, welcome back.
How you doing, Brian? Good to be with you.
Hey, Mark, I'm just reading your column, and you just went through some of the major decisions and faux pas Eric Holder has stumbled into. Let's go over some of them. First off, in 2009, he pressured President Obama to announce the closure of Gitmo. I think just a few days into his administration. That place is still open.
No, exactly, and he did it on the second day in office without so much as doing a basic review, and the backlash was so huge that the outgoing Democrat-controlled Senate voted 90-6 to bar funding for the closure of Guantanamo. And guess what? It's still open today.
The former CIA Director Leon Panetta almost blew a gasket when he heard about this. He reopened criminal investigations into CIA interrogators, hired a special prosecutor who said these guys and these women did nothing wrong. But he did it. He went ahead and made that announcement anyway.
Well, not only that, he did it without reading the memos that had been prepared by the career prosecutors in the Justice Department who explained why these prosecutions were a legal dead end. If he had read that memo, he would have known that his special prosecutor was going to come to almost the exact same conclusion and not prosecute these people for any of those crimes. But he had this huge controversy he drew Obama into as a result. 2009,
the Christmas Day bomber, the underwear bomber who just said, "I'm guilty." But within 50 minutes of his arrest, he's read his Miranda rights.
And again, Eric Holder did this without even consulting top intelligence officials to see whether they needed more time. This was an absolute disaster. He went out there, and then all the administration officials had to go out on television and say, well, Miranda rights really aren't an impediment to effective interrogation, only to have Holder a few months later go out and say Congress needs to change the Miranda law because, in fact, it is an impediment to interrogation.
It's almost as if he's winging it, and it gets worse. He attempted to try, with Gitmo still open, he wanted to take the worst of the worst and bring him to New York City, led by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. An uproar from the mayor, the police chief, and Senator Chuck Schumer. They weren't happy about this, and it never happened.
Well, exactly, because, I mean, again, Eric Holder didn't bother to ask New York City officials what they thought about the idea of trying Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in their city. Lack of basic due diligence. The backlash against this was so massive that not only did the Obama administration walk back on the trial of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, they restored military commissions as a result of this decision. So, again, another disaster.
Right. And it never happened, and now it's back to where it originally belonged. In 2010, seems like yesterday, the Arizona immigration law caused a lot of controversy. He decides, I'm going to sue Arizona. And then it's revealed he never even read the law.
No, that's exactly right. He came out against the law without. It's only 10 pages long. Wasn't very hard to read. And he didn't even read the law. 3 vulnerable Arizona Democrats came out and begged the administration not to file this lawsuit, and 2 of them lost their seats.
In 2011, just here, Fast and Furious becomes exposed. It starts to untangle. He says to a committee, the investigative committee over in the House, I didn't know about this till 2 weeks prior. Memos show he knew about it in 2010. The question is, did he even read those memos, judging by his track record?
Well, I mean, that's exactly right. It's kind of a I understand that sometimes the Attorney General can't read every memo that comes across his desk. So if it was taken in isolation, that would be one thing. But he didn't read the memos from the career prosecutors. He didn't consult New York officials. He doesn't do basic due diligence. So considering his record, it's not surprising he didn't read the memos, if in fact he didn't read them.
And basically, him and the president are very good friends, but he has been a real detriment, it seems, to this administration.
If you look at any needless, terrible controversy that has plagued the Obama administration in his first couple of years in office, this hapless man is at the center of it.
Nice autopsy, Mark Thiessen, of the last 3 years. Appreciate it. Always good seeing you.
Thanks, Brian. Take care.
All right, 27 minutes now after the hour. Next on the rundown, domestic violence and